Welcome to our series preview of Dallas and Colorado, also known as Mikko Rantanen's Revenge. These two teams have met in the playoffs 4 times. 4 times ever. Okay?
Yes.
And Dallas has won, 6 times. Dallas has won 4 of them. Colorado, the last time they beat Dallas, this is crazy, okay? The last time they beat Dallas in the playoffs, 2005, 2006.
No.
See, senor.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy? The last time they played each other, they played each other in the conference semis last year. Colorado lost.
Yes.
They played each other in 1920. Colorado lost in 7. And so this year, Mikko Rantanen has left Colorado because he was tired of the losing. And that's why he asked for a trade, right? Because he requested a trade and he's like, get me to Dallas so I can win some hockey games. Isn't that how it went down this year?
Yes, it is. Except they were like, okay, but can you spend like 2 weeks in Carolina first? Super weird. So, by the way, yeah. I do got to throw this out there. I don't remember the last time 2 teams have been going up against each other. And one of the guys on one of the teams was in the top 3 in scoring for that season for the other team. Mikko Rantanen is still 3rd by a wide margin.
Wow.
In scoring on the Avalanche this season. McKinnon has 116. He's cracked. Cale Makar has 92 points. Mikko Rantanen in just 49 games, 64 points.
That is
the next closest player is Arturi Lehkonen. Arturi, I got it right. In 69 games, so 20 more games than Rantanen, he has 20 fewer points.
Now, the Colorado Avalanche will be the team not with home ice. Obviously, Dallas has gained that. They've also gained Mikko Rantanen. The Avalanche have gone through a total facelift this year. Total changeover in personnel, starting with the goaltenders. Jesse, I know you're a big Jake Ottinger guy. But looking at what Colorado has on the back end, we're going to go position by position here. Do you think they've got the edge in goaltending now that they've made those changes, or do you still give it to the Dallas Stars?
It's tight, but I'm leaning towards Colorado just based on recent play because there's so much of the Colorado season you have to throw out the window and you have to look at kind of the isolated back half of how they've been doing things. And if you go to just something simple like goals against per game, Colorado sits currently since March 5th to the end of the season 5th. They've allowed the 5th least amount of goals against since March 1st going on.
Can I ask who's ahead of them? Do you have that in front of you?
LA, Florida, Vegas, Winnipeg.
All very good teams.
Then we got Colorado. Yeah, it's a collection of some of the best teams in the NHL, and then you go down to 14th in the league, and there's Colorado with the 14th
Dallas.
most. Or sorry, there's Dallas with their goals against, which is a 2.86. So if you look at the whole season as a whole, Dallas's numbers look a lot better than Colorado's. But if you isolate for when Colorado is the team that they are right now, their numbers are slightly better than Dallas's.
Do you think Dallas would be a little higher if they didn't choke a 3-goal lead with less than a minute to go against Vancouver? That's still one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. And I know it's a regular season game. I know it probably didn't mean that much to the Dallas Stars, but you can't tell me that didn't get people's attention.
Yeah, and then we get into the minutia of the injuries and them playing healthy the last couple weeks, which is a thing they haven't been doing. But Dallas hasn't looked like the better team on the ice very often this last month of the regular season.
And on defense, it's hard to say any team with Cale Makar on the defensive end is not the better team. And I look at the Dallas Stars changeover. In the last 5 years, it's shocking. They were a defensive, don't score a lot, smothering team. They've now switched to offensive. They've got, and we'll talk about the forwards in a bit, but their defensive changeover from last year to this is crazy. Notably, Chris Tanev no longer being there, right?
Yes,
that was a big get.
A big change.
And here are their top pairings. It's like Labushkin, Dumba. These are not.
Heiskanen will be there.
Heiskanen will play.
I assume game 1 of the playoffs. Don't know because game 1 hasn't happened yet, but I assume he'll be in there.
Brendan Smith is going to draw in. Cody Cece's going to draw in. Petrovic's going to draw in. I mean, this group versus the Colorado Avalanche with Sam Girard and Cale Makar and Devon Tays, and I feel like there's a huge difference there, and that position, seems to matter more in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Avs got deeper down the middle too, which also helps them defensively. This is definitely one of those series, like, Dallas needs to be grateful that they have home ice here. But if you're riding the hot hand, I mean, the edge has to go to Colorado.
Jesse, what do you think on defense?
On defense, yeah, and actually, I got to correct myself because Sean Shapiro did tweet that Miro Heiskanen is not going to play in Game 1. He's not going to be available. The initial reports were that he was going to be out for the first round, and then then everything got like, oh, maybe he can come back earlier, and then now it's officially he won't be there at least Game 1. So if he's already not ready for Game 1, I don't know what kind of healthy Heiskanen we're getting, because this is the moment you play through any injury you can play through, and he's already been ruled out that he can't play through it. So I got to give the advantage to the Avalanche with their best defenseman in Dallas out.
The advantage offensively, though, to me has to go to Dallas. I didn't realize how absurdly deep they are. Like, absurdly. Okay, Jason Robertson leads the way, 80 points, 35 goals. Wyatt Johnson, 32. Matt Duchene, 30. Rope Hintz, 28. Mason Marchment, 21. Evgeny Dodonov, 19. Jamie Benn, 16. Thomas Harley, 16 from the back end. Maverick Bourque, 11. Those are all the guys with double digits. Tyler Seguin, when he comes back, he had 9 goals in 19 games. You lose Logan Stankoven, guess what? You get Mikael Granlund back, who had 7 goals in just 29 games with them. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, Mikko Rantanen had 5 goals in 18 games. The amount of goals the Dallas Stars would have scored if that team had been together all season. Where? Okay, you have Cale Makar and Devon Taves. That's great. Their Achilles heel is no defensive pair has ever played 60 minutes a night. So I don't know what you zero in on.
Right
there. The Colorado better have the better D-core because that's what they're going up against. It might be the deepest lineup in the league.
Now, when you look at both of these teams, they have great playoff scoring performers up front. And I'm going to talk about the last 5 years with at least 20 games played in those 5 years in the playoffs. Mikko Rantanen, points per game is 1.292. That's only behind Leon Draisaitl at a 1.5 and Connor McDavid at a 1.7.
Gross. He's
third. But who's fifth and who's sixth? Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon.
MacKinnon being behind Makar, I believe.
Behind Makar by 0.5.
That's a wild stat.
It's crazy.
Wow.
How much of Mikko Rantanen's scoring can be attributed to the two guys that he's playing? Because I think a lot of people asked the question when he went to Carolina. Obviously, Carolina's more a defensive system. He scored a lot more since he's gone to Dallas. How much of that is repeatable without the two guys that nobody argues are really, truly driving the bus for the Avalanche?
I think Mikko Rantanen's play style is more conducive to the playoffs, to be honest. Like he's obviously great in the regular season, but they call him Moose for a reason. Like he's got that big booming shot, and if he needs to get in your kitchen in the crease, he will. So no worries there from Dallas.
Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with Steve in the offensive standpoint. Like the forward group is a lot deeper in Dallas, but I also think we can't rule out the X factor that is Gabriel Landeskog, who is coming back, and because we all know it's going to happen.
In his first
game one is he's going to be activated. How can you not have that emotional bump to the entire team when he comes back for this series?
Well, and Jesse, forget Gabriel Landeskog. We're all forgetting the most important player here, because Rantanen goes from the Avalanche to the Stars. Oh no. Duchene goes from the Avalanche to the Stars. The Stars just keep stealing all their players. Well, when the Stars beat the Avalanche in that 7-game series, Avalanche have Michael Hutchinson in net. Bet you remember that one. There was a rookie who scored a hat trick for the Stars to bury the Avalanche.
Oh, God.
Joel effing Kiviranta, as they said on the Finnish broadcast. Now he is on the Colorado Avalanche, and he's actually scored at a decent clip in a depth role.
That's very, very interesting. One guy I want to point out for the Avs guys is Martin Necas. In his last 2 playoff appearances, he has 16 points in 26 games. And obviously, we saw the regular season difference between him in Carolina and him in Colorado, right? Just a bit of a different system. But 16 points in 26 games in the last 2 years is good on any team. When you play Colorado's system in the playoffs, is Martin Necas the biggest beneficiary of playing Colorado's system? And do you expect him to be the standout that I guess he's been in the regular season, but in the playoffs?
We're about to friggin' find out, aren't we?
Yeah.
I would, I think strategy is a big part of Necas's game. And I'm interested to see how he does the deeper into the series you get, because his speed is mind blowing. And seeing him next to McKinnon, I thought I would appreciate it less. I actually appreciate it more seeing him next to like an equal, like a peer. If the Avalanche do their job and they bang and they crash and they drive Dallas's defenders into the ground through the first few games of the series, if Necas doesn't lose a step, I don't know how they contain it.
Right. Jesse, your thoughts on Necas and anybody else from Colorado that might stand out? Because obviously, I think Dallas gets more points up front than Colorado would. Is that fair? Like all the
it'll be tight. Like I don't think it's a matter of any team outscoring the other. I think all these games are going to be tight. It's just a matter of who you want to give the edge to. I'm leaning Colorado. I'm worried about the Dallas penalty kill. It hasn't been great since like March 1st. They're not great on the penalty kill, and I know that Colorado's penalty kill, power play has been fantastic all season long, and a lot of the times in the postseason, things come down to special teams.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be a long series, going to be really tight, but I'm going to lean Colorado to just edge them out because of a number of little areas where I see Colorado having the edge.
One guy to keep an eye on too is Brock Nelson, who in 11 games with the New York Islanders, the last 2 playoffs, he has gotten 9 points. I think in this system, it's going to be a whole lot different. So I'm going to be watching to see what he does. Also an unrestricted free agent. So you make a lot of money this time of year. It's really important. Now, let's get to your predictions. Jesse, you sort of alluded to yours, so we'll start with you. What's your
Colorado in 6. Yeah.
Colorado in 6. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, very difficult. Dallas, I mean, their first round opponents, it's miserable. Colorado in 7.
I too had Colorado in 7. I just think I think there's going to be fight from Dallas on this one, but it's going to come down to that last game, and I feel like this series comes down to like 1 goal. Doesn't it feel like that?
What did Colorado acquire at the deadline? Beef. They acquired some big boys. Nelson, Coyle, even getting the band back together with Eric Johnson. They're going to add Gabriel Landeskog to the fold. That's going to be a lot for Dallas to contend with.
We're going to need your predictions too. Leave them in the comments underneath this video. Check it out. Colorado, Dallas. These are our predictions. What are yours?